Friends, a very good morning to all of you. After learning and understanding the views of Bharat Muni and Abhinav Gupta on rasa, now we shall go ahead with Mammata's views on rasa. Mammat was one of the Sanskrit scholars who commented on the theory of rasa. We have understood that Bharata thought, or in his view, rasa is evoked, is brought out, is the result of the combination of vibhavas, anubhavas, and vebhikari bhavas. That is, rasa is evoked when the vibhavas, anubhavas, and vebhikari bhavas are combined. Although Bharat Muni talked about this particular aspect, he has not interpreted the theory in detail, unfortunately. Hence, there are many Sanskrit scholars and others who have tried to explain this conspicuous concept. Another Sanskrit scholar, Bhatta Lalota, rather a Kashmiri Sanskrit scholar, pointed out that rasa is a product made by efficient causes. By efficient causes, he meant nimitta karan. Means Bhatta Lalota was of the view that rasa is produced by the nimitta karan of the vibhavas, anubhavas, and vebhikari bhavas. However, Mammut rejects this view on the ground that rasa cannot exist in the absence of the vibhavas, anubhavas, and vebhikari. It is not a producer product relationship that exists between the bhavas and the rasas. Means he was of the opinion that bhavas are not to be seen as a producer of rasa, and product is not the resultant effect. Rasa is not the product or resultant effect. So there is no cause and effect relationship between bhavas and rasa. He viewed that rasa and bhavas go hand in hand. He concludes that they cannot be considered the efficient causes of rasa, but they here stands for the bhavas. The bhavas cannot be considered the efficient causes of rasa, but concomitant agencies which contribute to the creation of rasa. By concomitant agencies, we mean the accompanying aspects or associating things. So they are associated with rasa, and that is how rasa is created. We shall now talk about another Sanskrit scholar who expressed his views on rasa theory. The name of the scholar is Samkuk or Samkuk. Here I shall be talking about Sankuka's explanation of the enlightenment of aesthetic emotion. He introduces two terms in this context: Bhavakatva and Bhojakatva. So Samkuk explains the enlightenment of aesthetic emotion through the example of painting. Now let's understand what he's trying to say in this context. When we see a painted horse, we can say that it is a horse, and at the same time, it is not a horse. This particular statement may appear as an instance of the contradictory statement or paradox. How can be something which is something cannot be that thing? So that is the question. So a painted horse can be called a horse, but at the same time, it is not a horse. So when we think it from an aesthetic point of view, we need to understand that here Sankuk is trying to underline the difference between the real and unreal. A painted horse is not a real horse. However, it is a picture of a horse. In that way, we understand this statement. It is a horse and it is not a horse. So these two different statements can be made. Means it is not a real horse. That is what we understand. But it is a picture of a horse. Another scholar, Bhattanayak, said that rasa is neither produced nor suggested nor created by anything. It is something, something within the audience, something within the artistic words itself. It is neither produced nor suggested and nor created by anything. So he does not accept the role of bhavas in the creation of rasa. Further, Sankuk talks about bhavakatva and bhojakatva. Now let's try to understand these two terms. According to Sankuk, a proper aesthetic creation generates in us means in the audience, in the spectator, in a reader. When we talk in the context of drama, we need to refer to the term the spectators. So generates this aesthetic uh, creation generates in us a new spiritual enlightenment which gives us enjoyment. So drama and its presentation is all about enlightenment and enjoyment. It teaches while it pleases us. So there, these both functions are referred to by Samkuka. He called these functions the function of enlightenment and the function of enjoyment as bhavakatva and bhojakatva respectively. So here we need to understand that bhavakatva is the power of universalization. That is to refer to Abhinav Gupta's term sadharanikaran, the universalization. And bhavakatva is the power of universalization. And this happens by virtue of vibhavas, sthayi bhavas, etc. Means because of vibhavas and sthayi bhavas, we, the spectators, lose our individuality. I'm sorry, here I mean to say that the writer, the author, the dramatist lose, or dramatists lose their individuality. And these are the people who are endowed with imaginations. The artists, especially we are referring to the art of drama, Natya Shastra, the theory of drama. So, in this context, we understand that Bhavakatva is the power of universalization or Sadharanikaran, by virtue of which Vibhavas, Thai Bhavas, etc., lose their individual existence in people. Who are these people? The people who are endowed with imaginations, means the people who write plays, etc. The dramatists I'm referring to here are the playwrights. Whereas Bhojakatva refers to the quality that is responsible for the enjoyment of this generalized Thai bhava by the spectator, by the audience. We may refer to it as the poetic sense, the sense of understanding. Bhojakatva is the poetic sense, the quality that is responsible for the enjoyment of this sadharanikaran, this universalization of sthai bhava by the spectators. So the personal emotions of the author are universalized, that is bhavakatva, and bhojakatva is related to the audience, the receivers. So you can understand it in terms of the writer and the reader. So bhavakatva is something which happens in the context of the writer, whereas bhojakatva is something which happens in the context of the reader. So this is how we differentiate between the two terms, bhavakatva and bhojakatva. So in this manner, Samkuk understands the creation of rasa in terms of the writer and the reader. And he introduces these two terms to explain the theory of rasa, or even I can say rasa, the aesthetic flavor itself. Thank you.